Wait, how are you today? Okay.
How is everyone? How is everyone?
Good. This is session 7, not session 6.
Just pop up on my phone that we're live.
It's not up on mine too.
Not mine.
So, just wait till everyone sit down or something. So yeah, the last time the video messed up and
Computer died.
the first like third or so.
And it didn't even save.
Yeah, well, there you go. So we skipped that. But what happened was these players here, our pirate crew went to a gambling day in the Den of the Balloons and did some gambling and there are some rumors and town and that kind of thing. So the main thing they did was
Get a bunch of gold.
get a bunch of gold. They played a couple of hands of Grape Shot, which is a dice game that you can play at the Den of the Balloons. Very popular. And then Gunter participated in the arm wrestling tournament.
And he got
won
second.
second place, which is pretty good. And it was tough. It went a lot. I actually expected you to, in all honesty, to just like destroy it and win the whole thing. It went pretty well. I'm glad it did.
It was really, the last part was really stressful.
And it was fun. There was a lot of back and forth. But here's what I will say: that session turned out to be like not a lot of everyone got to do a lot of stuff. So today we'll make sure that that is not the case as best we can. Anyway, won some gold. You met Lady Christina, who is the owner of the Den of the Balloons, and the priest of Sonora, who is the goddess of luck. So she runs obviously a gambling place, you know, that's her whole thing, and like make sure everything is fair. It's good luck, bad luck, it's all the same, right? Like, you know, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose is the idea. And she thought you guys seemed pretty. You won second place. You're a newcomer, so she introduced herself and offered to let you draw from the mystical Taroka deck, which is a cards that she had, and each of you guys drew one. Received a card with a different special ability. Yeah, that is like a one-time use thing, basically. Except for, I believe, Swift drew the artifact, which gives any item that you have, you can make it a +1 item permanently. So you can choose like your bow, or you can choose like a sword or armor or whatever.
I think I chose my bow.
Yeah, so your bow is now +1, right? So that means it's slightly magical and does some extra damage, basically, and extra chance to hit. Yeah, you guys did that. And then the last thing I believe you saw was you were leaving the den. The two last things you did, you went to get a drink at the bar, and you asked about Brickbeard's brewery. You asked if they had any Brickbeard's ale on tap. And the bartender was like confused. He's like, what are you talking about? Like, that brewery burned down like 50 years ago. And so that was weird. Why did you see a poster in town that said Brickbeard's brews like fluttering in an old tattered poster behind the other ones? And then when you were doing that from the dock, you could see another dock where there's a man hanging in like an iron cage. Like anybody has definitely seen like Pirates of the Caribbean or something. There's like a cage hanging out over the water. There's a guy inside of it, right? And while that was happening, the town guards were dragging another pirate away by their arms, freaking out. This guy that was dragging me, getting dragged away, he was like screaming something about, I had to hear what he would say. I had to hear what he said. I didn't know. And you can't really figure out what that means, but definitely something strange goes on. If you feed, clearly this must be from the poster that you saw, William the Pleaser, and if you feed him a fish, specifically a herring, something seems to happen. Who knows why? So that was last. I think that's where we basically ended it. You guys come back to your ship. So I'm gonna say, just for the sake of it, because I did say that the Admiral's Day celebration was 5 days away. You guys have rested up for a few days. For 3 days, you spent on your ship. So you just kind of spent the last 3 days relaxing, not really doing much. In the lay of the land, making some repairs to your ship, blah, 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 right? And 3 days later, it's early evening now. It's like, 5 o'clock in the evening. And the sun, the time of year is the sun is still pretty high. It's early summer, let's say. And you got a few more hours of light. What do you want to do? What?
We were planning to go to the brewery,
Yeah.
and Swift is planning to do something illegal.
Which I'm going to drag Swift with us, so he doesn't get away.
Oh, so you're gonna be on a leash like a little kid?
No, a baby holiness.
It's worse.
Yep, and you can't get away that way, because I'll know if you try to get away.
Swift, roll a stealth check. This happens sometime over the 3 days. Target is 13.
12.
Plus anything for stealth?
Shit.
Under your dex. So
It's under my dex, but I've got like a modifier for stealth. It's
Yeah, so-
+5.
yeah, exactly. Okay, so one night, well, Gunter, just as Gunter falls asleep, you immediately get out of this harness that he's rigged up, and you're like, what is this? This is ridiculous. And you go off and you go to this dock where you saw William Glazer. Roll a d6 one.
3.
3. Okay, so you see this guy that you saw the other day hanging in his cage. You're alone. There's no one else around, except for there is one guard watching the dock, and he doesn't see you because your stealth check is really good. But he is like blocking your way to access William. Do you want to try and get past him? He's like watching like the dock that he's on. Like imagine he's here, William Pleaser's down here, you are like here basically, hiding behind some barrels, and the only way down is like this narrow, like wharf, right? So like to get past this guy, you have to figure out something without being seen by him. But you want to try that, and you try to closer.
What do you think, Swift? You gonna go for it? I'm gonna go for it.
How are you going to get past this guard? So one guard, he doesn't look too tough. He doesn't look like, he looks like he's sleeping. No, he's like not nodding off, but he's kind of like bored, He's no one really comfortable here. This guy, you just see the guy sleeping in his iron cage like 30 feet away. So there's the water nearby, I'll say. There's certainly like lots of barrels and crates around this area, so you're hidden. There's not many other people around. There's no one, in fact, there's no one else around.
I'm gonna play it safe and keep going for stealth.
Okay, so you're gonna try and sneak
If
past.
only you had chloroform.
How do you think you would like to? I will say this, like you can't, like there's no way you could just like sneak directly past him. But maybe if you climb down the side of the wharf or something, like you could maybe try that, or you get a boat, like a small boat from somewhere else. If you want to look around.
Or throw a rock somewhere to distract him.
That works good. Roll a. Right, you can roll a deception check.
5.
Plus anything?
Yeah, I got +5% deception.
Plus 10? Okay, I'm gonna say we got 10 at 10. I'm gonna say, here's what happened. So I'm gonna say the roll was easy. Because this guy was bored and tired, and he hears like the rock smash against like something that, some feet away from him, and he looks over that way and says, hey, whoever's out there, no one's allowed to get near William, and he starts walking, like he walks opposite. He walks away, but it doesn't look like he's going to be gone for very long. Like you have maybe a couple seconds to run past him, and like down at the end where William is, there's also some places to hide. There's also crates and stuff at the end of that door. So if you definitely, you don't make stealth checks. You distracted this guy already. You run past down the road. But once you get down there, this guy may search around and try. If he sees you doing something, he may try searching again. So you rush down the wharf really quickly and quietly. You get to William. As you get closer, you notice that it's this man. He's in raggedy clothes. He has a bowler hat on, bowler hat, and that's like basically the only nice piece of clothing he has. He has like a big beard, and he's like pretty old. Just take an investigation check to see what extra details you see. That's what you see out there.
16.
16. Okay, yeah. When you look closer again, he's an elf, so he can clearly be like. Everyone you guys know that elves, they can live for hundreds of years. Yeah, he's like an elf.
Oh boy.
And as you look closer again, his eyes, he kind of looks right at you as you come close. And he definitely, he sees you, but his eyes like he's blind. So he's like, I don't know if he kind of like cataracts and stuff. But he looks right at you and he kind of nods. And then he starts singing this really weird, mournful song. You hear the guard as this guy starts singing. You hear the guard from the end of the wharf shout out, like, "Willie, shut up with that nonsense. Be quiet. We're told you not to disturb the peace." But William keeps singing anyway. And of course, right next to one of the barrels, is hidden among the other ones with that investigation check, is a big barrel that says herring. Or pickled herring, and it says, there's a sign actually stapled to it. It's like, "Do not feed to William." But it seems to have been left there for some weird reason. No one did this. It seems to have been mistakenly left there.
Oh,
What?
Swear to God.
thank you,
Swear to
Zayne.
God.
Or
Don't do it.
It's right there.
you're gonna do
It's
it.
your decision.
When Gunter finds out this happens, you should know he is not going to have a good time.
Who knows what the other one is?
Yeah.
You don't know right now.
Yeah, babe. Sure,
The barrel is like, it's got like a loose lid. You open it, there's just like briny, pickled, salted fish smell. It's pretty bad, but there's like huge fish fillets in there, and you pick one out and you hand it up to William. He's like, starts reaching for it, and as he grabs it out of your hand, he shoves it in his mouth and swallows it whole in one shot. And as he does that, this is what happens. You suddenly feel like a crazy headache come on, and you cannot see anymore for a few seconds. Your eyes are completely black, and then you have a vision, and you hear William singing this song, and he's I'm not going to sing it carefully. He starts singing a song that's basically starts with something about a little drop of poison is the lyrics that you hear, and you see these this vision of these 6 dwarves that look like sailors, and they're sitting at this big long like bar table, a big wooden table with big wooden benches on each side, and they got all these tankards of ale in front of them, and they're singing some kind of song, and you're like drinking from their ale, and then after a couple of seconds, you see some of them start to choke, and some of them start to like keel over, and they all like within like a few seconds they all die. Like clearly they're dead in front of you. And then you notice like the light in the window nearby them starts like, when you see in a movie when like time goes by and it's like the moon comes up and then the sun comes up and it keeps going. So you see kind of that thing, and over time you see them like rot away and turn into like corpses, and then they start moving and they get up. These zombie dwarves get up and pick up their tankards, and they start doing like a dance and a jig, and like to the tune of the song that William the Pleaser is singing. And you see behind the bar this whole time another dwarf, and he's like polishing mugs and like pouring up beer for these zombies, and he has a great red beard. With that, some of your headache's gone, you're back to normal, and the guard is running down the dock at you, saying, "Hey, you get away from William! It's too dangerous. Don't talk to him. Don't you talk to him. You better not get him in hearing. You have like seconds to decide what you're going to do." He's running right towards you. He's not necessarily like seeing your face yet because it's dark out, or it's like a little bit like it's dusk, so it's like hard to see. Like I'm gonna say the sun is behind you, so it's in the guard's eyes. You can't quite see. And William's just saying the sun. There's water right behind you. There is like again barrels and crates you could maybe hide in or try and climb on. But otherwise, this guard is coming right for you. What do you do?
I'm gonna jump in the harbor.
Jump in the harbor. You jump in with a splash. The guard, after a few seconds, you see him like yelling at you, and he's got like a spear, and he's like shaking, and he's like, "God damn it, get back here! You're under arrest, man!" But you're swimming away, and you see your own boat like off in the distance. And I'll say, like, you're smart enough to know, like, better not just go like right from my own boat. So you kind of like find somewhere to sneak off once it gets far enough away, and you swim over and you get on the shore. And you see at this point, by the time you get on the shore, you see a bunch of other guards like running around now. And they're like, someone fed William here. What are they doing? Didn't they see the sign? And like, the admiral's gonna be pissed. But you sneak by those guys and you get back to the boat, and Gunter is still sleeping. No one else is around. And you put your harness back on, and you are soaking wet.
The harness is a very difficult thing for him to get on by himself.
He's figured out how to get out of it. He knows
No, it's like actually.
Once Heiji wakes up, he's just gonna go nip that swim, go like, look at him and go like, why you smell like fish?
No, the harness is on Gunter. It is a literal baby carry harness.
We've already decided.
No, you can easily slip out of it. Getting in now without waking up Gunter. That's the tricky part.
Make a perception test. Make a hard perception test. Yeah.
Him?
Oh boy. So I'm currently asleep. But if I notice this, what would that go off? Perception?
15.
Perception. 15, Zach. No, miss.
You wake up like a minute later, and he is wet, which is weird.
I feel like I toss the thing off and I leave him on the ground because it's like
you can't tell that he necessarily didn't.
either he had a shower in all of his clothes during sleepwalking, which would have been stupid, or he went out to swim.
At this point, it's like the sun's coming out. Okay, so it's that.
He probably went out and fell into the water, which now that my clothes are wet, that pisses me off still. I'm still mad at you. I just am not furious because William has not been found out yet.
So,
But in the morning, when she smells fish, I'm going to be asking a bunch of questions.
it's late afternoon on the next day. So,
He smells like
let's wait for
fish and
Sarah,
salt.
actually. So yes, you had this vision, somehow weird, like very strange, like the way I describe it to you, like the way you saw it, it felt real, but it looked like an old, like 1940s Looney Tunes.
Right. So the big thing
Not
is,
that Switch would recognize that as anything, but it was like drawn, not like real life, sort of. And it looked like,
cartoonish.
very cartoonish, very weird, and it's just whole very strange thing. So very strange experience, and yeah.
So in the morning, I wake up, I pick him up, and just drag him out.
In the morning, it's pretty dry.
He's pretty dry, but he still has that fish. He has the weird smell, which is, I can't really tell.
There's lots of fish in the nearby, and the
Yeah.
sea smells like salt
Yeah.
water, and
It's mainly
barrels
salt
of
smell.
Really
But
you-
it's a bit strong. It's mainly salt on it.
you think you smell it, and then you kind of look at it on the dock, and there's like a guy with a fish monitor selling pickled herring out of the dock.
I look out, and it's like, what did anything?
You can't, like I said, more
I'm
than
going to do
it's not more that you don't know anything. It's more than you cannot say for sure.
I can't say for sure, but I'm going to have Heiji sniff Swift as I hold him there. It's like,
He smells funny.
what does he smell like?
See,
So,
fish.
Like those fish over there?
He just sniffs the air. Yep. But
You
also
went to
wood.
William, didn't you? You went to William? Why would you do that,
we don't
Swift?
have to confirm it. Usually, I don't know why you're talking
The fish
If you say, I don't know
one
why you're talking about it,
thing
you will not.
I told you was to not go to William. You were soaking wet and you smell like that herring.
All we did was go out for midnight swim.
I had a snack of herring from that guy who's
Yeah.
selling herring right there.
He wasn't selling it yesterday.
Yes, he was.
He started last night. For all you know, you were asleep.
I was awake. You were in
He
the
was
room.
down the way, you know. Like he was on another.
So you mean to tell me you walked all the way across to the second wharf just for a fish, and then you swam?
Yes.
So, as these guys argue, what does Heiji and Vanjuul get up to? They're like looking out at these guys like,
He's just like,
I'm going to intimidate him into seeing if this is true or not.
He's just like,
Vanjuul, over the last like day or two. Well, this is the moment. You, like maybe, I'm gonna say, you went to the Den of the Blooms and you had I'm that argument and said, no, it's funny. Rip Beer Brewery, burned out.
who is
And
this here?
it says, and tomorrow.
I want to intimidate
So
him.
anyway, it's up in the hills that way, a few miles, hike up there, you know, up in the hills.
Fresh beer.
It says, oh, Rip Beer was the greatest dwarven brewer of his age. So famously made ales and lagers for the dwarven kings and would send them to banquets and all over the islands. They said you had a farm up in the hills on this island where they grew their wheat and their hops and their rye and that stuff. And they, dwarves that worked with them, they would make the best beer, and they had every now and then they would invite people to come up and they'd have like a tap room and stuff where you would go and sample their products. Like, nobles would come from far and wide, like sample or like people representing their nobles anyway, to buy stuff to bring back to their kingdoms. It was really famous. It's like, well, it was years ago. You might not even heard. It's like some people still have, you know, in a cellar somewhere, some is like special reserve, and it's like that's worth a lot of money. So we got to find something like that, you know, worth for him. Someone would buy it for sure, right?
I want to intimidate him to see if he's telling the truth.
It's up to Aiden to allow you to make a check.
Nope.
Player versus player stuff, both people have to be on board. Whoever's the instigator, the other person can be on.
No,
That's the home rule. You like that? It's like, I just got to
If I find out that you're lying,
I think that Swift got some good information from his little dream about the brewery.
to the players. Maybe it's.
We don't know what it is.
if I find out he's going straight to the bottom of the ocean while we're sailing,
So anyway, so we're talking to this guy, Marlo, he's the project. Talk to him once. He mentions all these weird things like, you know, if you were meta aware fantasy characters, it would be like, this is a place, right? So
Katie's already,
up in
it's like,
it's 50 years
Katie
ago
wants-
night, full moon,
to see what's
mysterious
shiny.
brewery, treasure, etc. If you guys are interested in going there, you absolutely can, and I am prepared for you to go there. If not, you can certainly do, I can wing it and be clear what to do.
Katie wants to go to the brewery.
As a group, what does everyone want to do?
It's like, Katie wants to explore.
yeah, the
Raise your hand who wants to go to the brewery. 4 out of 4, 5-on-5 minutes. So, all right, so
You want that, so.
over these 3 days, well, you know, I mean, that's totally fine. You guys can still make decisions. I just happen to have this prepared. I can
Because
definitely
we said we wanted that to
Yeah,
be
exactly. I
prepared.
mean, that's how I like to run games, like if I can. It's like if you guys give me something, I can't give something to do ahead of time, then I got 2 days to prepare for it. You know, be ready, right? So like, after we finish today or whenever with this project, I'll make up some more stuff.
I mean, I think we were interested in Admiral's Day.
Yeah, and that's 2 more days. 2 days. So it's I will factor and say it is now it's Wednesday. So on Saturday, come is Advent. You know it's not too actually. There's actually it's two days now. There's now crews of people like decorating, like bumping and stuff out of the buildings and like putting flowers up and like getting things ready and cleaning up the streets and there's posters going up like celebrate the admirals. Someone roll me a D100. Actually,
95.
his 95th birthday.
I got 100.
You got, no, that's
Zero one, right?
That's
1.
That's 101.
No, that's 100. No, that's 1. Because 0, 0, 0 is 100.
Yeah.
3 0.
So that's literally 1.
Because
That means he's 1 year
so
old.
he's 95 years old.
1 year
A
old.
century, like, or, well, I can't say a century.
He's close to a century.
Close to a century, yeah. Celebrate our great captain.
Now, if it was 1, that would be hilarious. Okay, he was born last year, and now he is the newest one, and he is merely a baby. Because Admiral,
So,
which would be confusing as hell, but it would have to be accepted as he is the child Admiral,
he,
born into the state apparently about it.
Some admirals are some races are really short-lived.
Yeah, well, and you actually don't know who the admiral is. You don't know why he looks like who he is. You could ask if you want
Later on.
Anyway, so you get this information. You know that like north of town, and there's a road like goes up that to the old farm stations, and some of the places up there are still farms. Like the island hasn't had food, and import lots of stuff. It goes up there too, and fish and that kind of stuff. So if you go over that, Marlon says, yeah, if you ever want to go up there, I suppose, like, about 3 miles up the hill and take a left and watch for the waterfall and, you'll see the old mill there, where they grind grain, and another mile past that, you should come up on the old brewery.
Okay.
So you guys want to do that? It's now like late afternoon, like this, I said earlier. If you take that march, pretty uneventful. It was a lovely day, early summer. You hike all the way up, and it's just dusk as you're getting there. You see 500 meters away this old, broken down building. And there's a sign, an old broken down sign, actually half collapsed, that says, it says the Brickbeard Brewery Incorporated. Brickbeard Brewery, let's say. And Brickbeard Brewery and Farms, that's what this sign says. And so you see this 500 meters away. There's clearly, from this distance, you can see there's a main building, and you can see there's a side like stable, and all around it are these like overgrown fields of like wheat. Clearly used to be wheat and hops and those things. The hops grow on these big towers that go up like 30 feet, and there's like ropes coming down from them. And in the dusk, they're starting to cast some shadows, and how it looks gloomy and almost like creatures sitting out in the field. But you can tell that there are these wooden poles or these ropes coming down, and there's old, like twisted vines all around. Like this is what hops grow on. Some are still alive; they're actually wild. Hops, which like you're here with. It's not like it's full of weeds. What do you do?
Go straight to the brewery.
And you just garden in.
So as you get closer, there's, like I said, there's a main building, and about like, so there's a main, actually, as you get closer, this is what you really see, it's like, there's like a loading dock area, you know what I mean by loading dock, so it's like a wooden platform, and there's a big garage door type thing. It's not garage, it's barn doors. You know the compost shed over there has the two giant doors?
Yeah.
It's like that. That's what you see on this closest side, this way. Then like on this side, going this way, you see the building, there's some old broken windows and there's like burned glass and stuff. And it looks like this building caught fire. It looks like it's partly burned, but it still looks to be in good shape. And so that's like the building, the loading dock is here, the side of the building is here, the direction we're coming. And over this way, 20 meters away, 30 meters away, is a stable. You clearly see the stable. So like a barn, the door's half open. There's like a path leading right up to it. There's a path leading from the stable right to the loading dock area, and then that touches the road right now. So, one area you actually investigate. What do you want to look around the west?
I would go
The
inside the brewery.
Sure. Okay, so on the loading dock side, there's two big barn doors, and on the far side, there's a small side door, like the door like this. So that one looks like it's like a main entrance kind of thing. It's like as you get closer, there's an old dusty sign on that that says Brickbeard's Brewery as well. If you get closer, there's a wooden door. Looks like it's in good shape. Just has a little bit of it doesn't have glass on it. It's just a wooden door. And, so that's the main thing you see. There are a few windows down this side of the building as well. This height.
I would
Door, windows, or again, you can keep looking.
probably going through the main door.
Sure, yeah, so try the main door.
Yeah.
You try it, and it feels like also roll a d6. 1, 2, 3 is good.
6.
6, it's locked, and you can tell by you look at it for a few minutes, and you're like, it's locked, but it's not rusty, so I can probably give it a try. Sometimes an old door is just rusty. And you
Lock pick the door.
What kind of roll is it? Dex?
So, do you have thieves tools?
Should.
Yeah, I think you do. You're a rogue, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have thieves tools, 100%. Okay, back up with this. Target's 14. You add a d20 plus your dex plus your proficiency. So, or when you use thieves tools. If you didn't have thieves tools, you would just use your dex. So use them. They'd use a hairpin or something. That's not like a real thing.
3
Like 5. Well, your dex plus
plus
proficiency.
4.
Plus 4. So, okay, you're messing around with it for about 15 or 20 minutes. It's just not working. It's getting darker.
And just break the door down.
So, this is actually, yeah, you don't think you'll be able to pick one. So, what else do you want to try? The sun is now slightly sinking off the tree.
I just want to break the door open.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
How do you want
But where are the hinges?
You see 3 rusty hinges on the left side of the door.
I'm going to pull out the tool bag.
Roll a d6. If it's 4, 5, or 6, you don't even have to make a check. You can just take the screws out. If it's 1, 2, or 3, you have to make a check to see.
3.
3. Okay, so they're rusty, not easy to get out. So you're going to have to make a, I would say, strength check this much. You use your tools, you pry it, and then you try and leaning. You know how I always show you guys like lean against the drill and the screwdriver? You're having that kind of stuff. What, have you messed around with it? Yeah, absolutely.
So strength check.
Strength check, 14 is target.
I hit it.
Perfect. Okay.
Base
So,
is 16, so that's enough.
nice. So yeah, it takes a little while. It's hard. Roll another d6. 4. Okay. So the 4, pretty quiet. Takes you a little bit. You make a couple of bumps, but not really. You almost expected like the screws from that loud squealing noise. So rusty and stuff. Doesn't happen. So that's good. But probably good. Okay, so you get the door, you try to pick it, you did that. Swift, what do you want to do? The door is now open. You guys, I will say this, you get the hinges off and you pick up the door and you lay it to the side.
Pick it up,
You
toss
pick
it
it up
away.
and you put it on the side of the door.
Does it have to be quietly?
No, it doesn't have to.
I just toss it into the field of grass.
Toss it in the field behind it. Okay. It makes a loud thump and then a rattle as it falls in the grass behind you. And inside, you get a musty smell, and you can just barely see by the fading light. Inside of this room are crates and barrels stacked floor to ceiling all over the place. Some are tipped over, some are like rotten and old. You smell grain that's kind of like mold and mildew and mushrooms and all this kind of stuff. You see immediately, so you're looking at the door right here. Immediately to your left, you can see these two huge bats in the dim light, and there's a catwalk that goes between the two bats, and the stairs leading up to this area, and they look to be intact, but they're huge, really dusty. And straight ahead, you see all kinds of crates and barrels and that kind of stuff. And to the right, you see there's a hallway that goes down, and you see imagine, okay, you're standing here. Here, there's a wall here, and there's a hallway that goes this way. The wall here has a huge window in it, like a big picture window. And then there's straight down here at the end of the hallway, there's a set of stairs. So if you guys are looking inside, you're just peeking inside. Actually, so Swift or Vanjuul. You two are taking turns. So we'll go.
Sorry, it's all right. I do that when it comes to the rates. It's my fault, no basis. Do you want to decide to do something, Swift, or do you want me to? You go ahead. I've not been paying attention.
That's okay. So Vanjuul's going over here. So,
Well, I guess then I'll go inside.
yeah, so you go, so like I said, the obvious things that you see is to the left, it's big broom bats on. Straight ahead, crates, boxes, broken open barrels, all
You don't
stuff.
want to
Picture window, hallways.
That's what I'm asking.
Okay, so you start going down the stairs. First,
Oh, yeah.
how do you go into the building? You quietly, you just walk in, make a step. So D20. And dexterity, stealth. So you don't have any. But here, that's black. We passed anyway, but this is black, right?
Yeah.
So you add whatever your dex is, +2.
Okay. So it's 17.
17. So roll 17, so Vanjuul quietly. You have a pair of black sand on your shoulder. Even sand stays extra quiet. It doesn't make any noise. And as you're going in, door creaks under your foot. Don't see anybody around. It's pretty dusty. And after a minute or two, just sneaking in quietly, you're pretty sure that there's no one in. Right? But you want to be sure, probably, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you just quietly go down to the stairs. And as you get down to the stairs, you see that there's no door, they just go on. Okay. Yes. So,
Maybe you should throw that out.
no. Yeah, stairs go straight up. The stairs go up and then turn around. See that?
Okay.
Must go somewhere. Oh, and I said there's like a window on this wall.
Yeah.
There's another window on the second floor. Right? So one here and one straight up here. So you reasonably think these stairs must be up the back. You want to refer back. So yeah. So Swift, do you have anything, or do you just want to follow with these guys?
I'll just drag him around with the leash.
You just drag them. Okay.
For outside, I take him on a leash. For on the boat, I make sure he doesn't escape.
Heiji, what do you do? Do you follow Vanjuul inside? Or if that's not your action, just do you follow inside?
Yes.
Okay.
So he's gonna probably try to dig through the crates and that.
So you see, like across the room is like 20 feet away. This room is like a huge warehouse. It's actually where there's 2 floors, and it's pretty big. There's a tons of crates, like all against this far wall. Like I said, stacked like 4 or 5 high. Some have fallen over the years and broken open. There's grain spilled everywhere. You see ones like, there's a grain house, old beer. It smells pretty bad. Some is burned from fire. Oh, yes.
Yes.
Okay, so you get, you go close and I'll say, so here's how this is going to work. Roll a d100. Not going to roll a check. It's very easy to inspect these. None of them are
53.
53. Okay, yeah, you quietly open one. First one you see. Coming closer and inside. You root around quietly. Much more rain that is sprouted into. It's just rotten works. So that's what it's marked inside. So you can look around more after, but you see that one, there's tons more. Now make a perception.
This is just a flat roll. Not 20.
Nat 20. As you are just one box as you open it, as you close it, you get like a little clink. Like there's 2, you open a box right in front of you, and there's like a bunch stacked there, just past it. And as you're closing the lid on this one, you see between like a little gap, a metal door that
Yeah, so is it okay if I actually this one?
So
Yes. Door.
you see it, you can't quite get to it. You can definitely see it. Oh, what? Whoa, there's no doors there. There's a bunch of boxes stacked against the wall in front of it. Nothing like
I'm just going to push over the boxes.
Are you going to be stealthy or no?
No,
No, okay. Yeah.
they're not good stuff.
Yeah, fair enough. So you, Heiji shows up behind you. You start knocking over boxes. Roll a d100.
Mainly, I'm going to just pick them up one by one,
And just put them aside.
pull them aside. They're going to make a loud thud.
Yeah, absolutely. No way that
I'm not rifling them. I'm just checking. I'm just playing because eyes.
these are so heavy that you can lift them. But your strength is like +3, +4.
Yeah, +3 and so 16.
Yeah, so yeah, absolutely. So you can lift these pretty easily, but yeah, to move them like a shovel and squeak.
16.
16? Okay, so yeah, 16 is what you roll?
Yeah.
Okay, this is what happens. As you move the last one, you pick up one, the bottom falls out. All this grain spills all over the floor, and a cask of ale is sitting in the ground. A small cask like this big. Now, here, labeled up, clearly labeled. It's beautiful engraved brass plate that says Brickbeard's Special Reserve. It's the year of 50 years ago.
Well, it's mine now.
Side of what year it is. Mine now is right now. And it's, you're looking at it, you look closer. Who has Arcana?
I have
You're a
it.
bard, yes. You probably do.
I have it.
Make an Arcana.
14.
14? Okay, so yeah, you quickly, you're like, so this is like a little barrel, right? You have a little tap on the end, it has a brass plate. The bands that hold the barrel together are like inlaid with gold. So like, they're not gold themselves, good, but they have like gold leaf. And as you look closer, there's all these little symbols on the gold leaf, and you can tell there's some kind of magical seal that preserves lives inside this. You just kind of, you've heard of things like this before, like sometimes like really rich like potion makers will make like, they'll have someone inscribe this magical symbols that help keep stuff fresh basically for a long time. And so you see that it's a dwarven, that kind of stuff.
Weapon.
Yeah, you just tell us. If you were to look at it, you're down on the other side. So you hear this commotion.
The grain spill.
But that's, yeah, you can tell. That's what it is. Basically, something that's not uncommon, not super common. It's like expensive procedure body. Some of the fancy people would have heard.
Fancy.
Right. Okay. So, stairs.
Yeah.
Upstairs.
I'm gonna come back and figure this out.
Okay. You hear them make a question. You come back. Okay. As you come back. Okay. As you go, as you're examining the panel, you do hear a commotion from behind you as something. And you see a man walk, and you see a dwarven man come down the stairs. And at first, you're like, you hear footsteps, you hear this guy coming down, and he's carrying like a tankard of ale in one hand, and he has a staff in his other hand, and he's walking, and you hear the click of the staff as he walks towards you, and everyone made a perception check. So, your wisdom plus perception. Wisdom, perception. So you go to wisdom, and then see the perception.
9.
Yeah, you have it circled in, so almost no, you don't. Yeah, so just plus your wisdom. You notice this man, you don't really make this connection. What's that?
9.
You also don't notice it.
Maybe it's probably
you see the
mostly
guy.
distracted by the ale.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
at 10, so I get it, but I don't.
You see this guy. That's all. Everyone sees this guy. No doubt. Swift, what did you roll?
I got a +2 in perception, so I got 14.
You rolled 14. So the 3 years are like, that's all this guy there. And then you say, you notice he walks through this like one last shaft of light coming through the window, and that was just, and you're like, that guy is a ghost. He is translucent, and the ghost is flying through his body, and he is a ghost. Everyone roll for him.
20 for him.
He's a good ghost. Actually, I'll tell you this. Anyone who beat 3 goes to 4. So I think everyone did.
Yeah.
So, okay. So as you say that, suddenly like he stops, he slams his staff down, and he turns towards you. So who rolled highest?
Doesn't matter.
You go first. And you also saw this first. So what's that?
What can I do?
Yeah, so
I can't attack him.
well, I mean, you can draw. You can certainly talk to him.
Should we get a battle thing?
If you want, yeah, we can do that. Yeah.
So,
I'll draw that quick 2 days.
After all of these days, I will have my banjo at this point.
Yeah, you do.
so I'm just gonna go, hey, you, what are you doing here?
Yeah. He replies. He says, we're not, brewery's not open anymore. Not open to outsiders. So here's it. Basically,
The next floor.
this is where the big window is. The boxes are all like here. So the boxes, crates. The door that you saw is here. This is only part of them. And like these are like stacked high, so there's like a bunch.
One day I'll be out the way though.
So, okay. You may have had like 3 here, let's say. So
You moved the 2, but not.
you may move the cat here.
Yeah, I will.
We stack a bunch like this.
That just all
Heat is coming from here. Over here is like those big vats. They're down on another section. Actually, I thought that too. So you guys are one of those. You'll be positioned wherever way you want.
So here with the box.
And then you're just driving. One second.
Then am I back there too, or am I still
Yeah,
back in stairs?
you said you came up with it,
Yeah.
so that's fine.
On the box. You're just sitting on the box.
Dang it. I look tall.
Well, no, I gave you the thing
I'm
to, no, I just gave you the thing to read as it's the boyfriend.
Oh, yes.
And now it's like, oh, you look over, oh, ghost.
Like, are you scared of ghosts?
No. It's like, huh,
Heiji is just like,
old spirit, man.
he's gonna be like, how do I deal with it? It doesn't look stable.
You can't punch it.
It doesn't look stable. Good thing we have spellcasters and Kracken. Unless you guys don't have any attacking spells.
This is the back. This one is 20 feet high. So this is like stairs, catwalk up above. These are like two big, giant barrels, massive, massive barrels. They're there, basically. Right. Go ahead, wait in the room. Okay, Ghost says, Burris calls the visitors, and then his face turns into a crazy monster, and he screams, "Get out!" And battle is on. What do you do? Battle is on. You don't have to fight.
Who goes next? Who rolled? What did you roll?
I rolled 16 plus, what do I do?
You get a 16, just flat number. So you go next.
Oh. I don't know.
Yeah. Attack of ghostly
One
being.
way, you can hide, you can leave, you can try to attack. You don't know what your character, your player's gonna get, but your characters don't.
Yeah. I'll try and play. So what happens?
Rush up and watch out and make it happen.
Whatever spells you have,
Or get a spell, which you don't yet.
I don't think you have any attacking. You just don't get them.
I will say this, you can have Black Sam can cast the spell Vicious Mockery, which Black Sam makes an insult to the target. If they make a save, they fail, 1d4 damage. Subject to instructions I mentioned.
It is meant to be.
How do I do that?
Yeah, if you rush up, you're like, you swagger up to him, I'm gonna say, and like, you're like, hey, I'm dwarf, and then like, yeah. Black Sam just yells out, and it was like, I don't know, that's a good insult to dwarf for a dwarven ghost. Like, hey, your beard's pretty short there, buddy, is what Black Sam says. And you see the ghost like shake his fist, he's gonna roll. He fails, he rolls an 8, so he takes 1d4 damage.
Yeah, which is multiple.
He takes 3 damage. I don't know how many points that's on. You see, he like, his form like shudders for a second. He screams at you, and you guys go.
I can, because I believe you rolled only 11. Okay.
No, I rolled the 7.
Okay, yeah. Hi. I'm going to just like play my banjo on the phone.
What specifically?
Just an old dwarven song.
What's your intent?
Calm the spirit down.
Okay, sure. You can make a persuasion check.
It is a performance check,
Yeah,
as I am playing an old
Yes.
dwarven song.
Sure, sounds good. You know, more drinking song.
Mainly from them,
Your performance just says E.
that's because I'm efficient in it.
Oh.
You are,
Very efficient in performance.
you have expertise.
Expertise.
Yes.
That fell right out.
Well, you roll 114.
Yeah, I rolled one
You roll
14.
14, so in the gloom, Gunter starts
Just a nice
singing this song,
old drinking song.
playing banjo, and the ghost calms down clearly for a second and looks over at you and says, I haven't heard that one in a long, long time. And I'm going to make a check. What's your charisma? What's your flat charisma score? No, you're like 15?
15.
He doesn't disappear, but he does seem to calm down.
That's why I don't want to mad him. I just want to ease the soul.
He does calm down, and he says that. He says, well, then, I see you found my whole special reserve that belongs to me. He seems to have stopped attacking for a moment. Okay, so that's Heiji or Swift, what do you want to do?
Heiji.
Who are you?
He looks confused for a minute when you ask that question, as though he can't remember. Then he tells us to check next one. Yeah, and it says, I think my name was Brandon Brickbeard.
Bricklebeard, the owner of this place.
And he looks and says, yes, that is correct.
What happened?
He looks and making another check. So, clearly he can't quite remember. 20. Fire, burn down. Actually, there's some mention on that. Those Weisenhoppers. Set fire on the main floor. I saw him play tonight. So Weisenhopper would be W-E-I-S-E-N-H-O-F-F-E-R.
W.
W-E-I-S. E-N-H-O-F-F-E-R. Bloody humans. No, they're humans.
No.
Who cares? No one hates humans. Why not? With that, you get some manage on him and he disappears. He's gone. So he suddenly disappears in the ether. Pause. You hear rustling behind you. So roll a D8.
3.
Slinging out from behind you guys, you see some weird shapes, these shadowy shapes moving in the background. I'm going to put them all here. Well, no, I'm not going to. These things this way. You see these, something's moving along the ground towards you guys. You see back on that, especially some kind of a liquid looking thing. So, Swift, what do you do? So something's moving towards you guys. It's moving fast. It's moving along.
I'm gonna try to shoot it.
So you see this thing and you're like, you get immediately a bad feeling. And see these slimy, now they're getting a bit closer. See them with these slimy creatures coming towards you. You also guys make a perception, everyone make a perception check first.
3.
9.
Nope.
Okay, just smell bad. Something smells real bad as these things slosh towards you. Look like liquid. And yeah, Swift, you roll roll your attack if you want to attack. So D20 plus you're +7, right? To your power.
I believe so.
So now you're +8. So good job. Yeah. Switch whenever you're ready. Just roll an attack. Oh.
What the?
We need you to roll.
They're attacking.
Oh, right.
Roll an attack.
I forgot.
He's forgetful.
14.
Okay, you hit one. So target, pick which one you want. And you hit one, and as your arrow hits it, it goes like splatters everywhere and it's gone.
All right, I'll hit the one in the middle.
Okay. Now, if you do that as they're rushing towards you guys, but it's their turn now. So this one snakes between these crates at your feet, Gunter, and it jumps. As it gets close to you, it like flies through the air, and it's like liquid, and it aims for your mouth clearly. So it's going to make a attack roll against your AC, which is 9. Power for me. Your AC is 9. It splashes on your shoulder, but it misses your mouth. It's clearly going through your mouth. And it splashes on the ground. It's still alive. It's right next to you. And this one goes there. That one goes there and attacks Heiji. 3, so same thing. It splashes at you, but you dodge out of the way. And this one goes. 15, 16. So that hits. So it does 3 damage to you as it lands in your mouth, and you get this horrible taste of spoiled beer. It tastes real bad, and you almost immediately want to throw up. But you also feel almost immediately it feels as you're getting drunk. So take a D10. You're going to use a D10 as a counter for how drunk you are. As this thing hits you. So now, as this thing hits you, it gets in your stuff. It's gone. It's dead. But it forced itself. It forced you to drink it. So you took 3 damage. Okay. So you took 3 points damage, and then okay. So keep the D10 at nothing, and put your D10 on 1.
D10 on 1.
Yeah. So it's 1. That is your counter for heaven. You feel like, whoa, that was a strong beer. You feel kind of weird from it. Like you shouldn't after one drink, but you do. Okay, so that's all their turns. Let's just go around the table. So, Vanjuul, what do you want to do? You see this one coming towards you.
I'm going to attack it.
Yeah. Okay, well, go for it. So, D20, yep. Plus, so 2. So you do that. It doesn't, I would tell you not to hit it, but when you do that, you get an attack, which is, I don't know, I'm sure we have it written down.
It is somewhere.
So you rush up, and this thing, like, because it's like a puddle of liquid, like you smash it. You have an axe or a hammer? Axe, yeah. You smash it with your axe, but it like chops into like a liquid puddle. Yeah. And it splits in 2 around your axe and reforms like large. You slash into the boards. Heiji, your turn. 1, yeah, there's like 2 right next to you. So you don't even have to move, you can just attack either one.
Are they in a line?
Make a deep roll of D6.
I'm trying to see if I hit.
Ooh, 2 with a 3 by now. 5.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dex save for both of them.
Okay, what's your dex? What do I do?
12.
12. 1 fails. And they both fail. And you blast them with your breath, and they just splatter all over. So these things clearly are not very tough. Okay, so you have a bonus action, probably. Your bonus actions are what? Like dash, disengage.
Hide.
You have.
Hiding.
Yeah.
Hiding behind barrels.
Yeah, you hopping behind the barrel there. Make a sub check just in case, and keep that number. Perfect.
Well, 6.
So 18. So just remember 18 for right now. If they want to find you, they gotta roll 18. That we're there. Okay. Gunter, is it?
I realized the surefire way to defeat them
This is national.
is to just eat it.
Yes. Okay.
I'm eating it, doing what it wanted, which means it's
Make an attack roll. I will say you can make D20 plus your dexterity plus your proficiency.
proficiency
Plus
to.
2.
Okay.
Roll a 10.
And
You try and scoop this thing up or get down on the ground and like actually drink it.
just
It sputters away.
I tries to grab it. And
Yeah, but it's liquid. You grab it and your hand just goes through it, right?
I'm calling them beer slime.
You're a being fun.
So you try that and Swift your turn. So there's one of these things left attacking your friends.
I'm gonna shoot it.
Okay, so where you got just a bit of a clear sight to shoot it. So,
Yeah, I'm.
yeah, you guys are just under the corner. Like, just this one. You see the Vanjuul and Gunter scrambling for it to try and get it. 18, you hit it. So yep, you shoot it, and as they're trying to mess with it, just as Gunter pulls his hand away from trying to grab it, an arrow sticks in the ground and splashes him, leaks into the boards of his hand. Okay, combat order. So
Now, I
information
also
we gain.
read the fact that I am a bit tipsy, so I'm not in the clearest of heads.
There's a weird ghost. You have got something got into your stomach and made you feel a little bit drunk. Everyone else, you fought these weird ooze things that have came out
The beer
came out
slime.
somewhere, and the ghost disappeared. You found a metal door. There are stairs. There is this room here has a door as well. So there's stairs right here. So when this symbol here, when there's a big one and smaller ones, that means stairs like that direction. So you go off that direction. And there's that big, this is a big plate glass window, but it's all smoky and you can't see through it. It's like covered in soot and ash.
I'm going to check the metal door.
You go to the metal door and it has a combination lock. It has a big dial on it, like a big, crazy dwarven lock. It actually has like 3 dials, and then it has like a big flywheel, it's like a big round wheel with all the spokes coming to the center like you see on a ship. And it's like, it looks extremely complicated. So it's I would say this. In fact, it looks extremely complicated. There's 3 crazy dials, all these symbols, like there's all these different types of symbols. And that clearly must have been turn some sort of combination.
I'm just going to make some random symbols and then spin the wheel.
Roll a dexterity saving throw.
Saving throw.
Roll a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, get something bad.
16.
16. As you turn it, as you start turning the wheel, after you made all these symbols, you hear an electric charge, and you're like, oh crap! And you dodge out of the way at the last second. It's from the center of the wheel, like this electrical pulse to the floor.
Am I drunk
You
anymore?
missed it. You definitely still feel a little bit drunk. Yes.
Okay.
So you have 1 point of drunkenness. So this is what I say. If that happens to anybody, we'll start adding up these points.
I mean, Heiji's.
Should or should not, is not the
Heiji.
may happen. Okay, so you that happens. The door looks real like impenetrable. I will tell you that. Like after messing around with it, you think reasonable logic. I need a combination.
What was the thing I was reading?
On the barrel? On the barrel, well, this is just, it's not very important, is that it's clearly magical seals that keep weapons inside trash. And you had that barrel.
I gave it over.
It's a little, like I said, it's like a little mini cake. Right?
Before
But you
combat,
can carry.
I had it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was the barrel you were sitting on and you were reading.
So you usually carry another one.
In the pack.
Pretty, it's a bit heavy, but not crazy. But yeah, it has some kind of magical banding on it to keep it protected. Okay, so the obvious places to go, the vats, the stairs, or this room that with the plate glass window. And you think that the stairs lead up to a room above that room with plate glass window. Fairly reasonable to look at that architecture and the pieces and stuff the way it goes.
Yeah.
That's the obvious thing to do. There was a stable outside as well. Yeah, well, what do you guys want to do? Do you want to keep going or do you want to continue this one next time?
I think it's best if we continue it next time, just because it's getting late
Sure.
and we can think about things.
Okay.
He can plan.
So, yes, so keep that in mind. There is a stairs, a door, that's stables outside, an iron door or a steel metal door you can fit over.
Yes, it's the 9
Cool.
27
And
here.
you've met a ghost.
I have
I
two
will
damage.
do it.
All right, good session, I
No, you
think.
took 3 damage.
All right, that's clean. I'm thinking. Yeah.
And if we play next time, we can pop in what the next set.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep, not erase it.
Anyway, see you guys for the next section.
Cool.
There's